Hey there guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at a very special and very unique set of cards, the English Versus set. Now the regular Versus set was a set that was released in Japan in August of 2001. This was a large 141 card set which continued on from the style of the gym sets from Generation 1 and gave owners Pokemon to the Kanto gym leaders, the Johto gym leaders, Team Rocket and the Elite Four. The booster packs were actually sold in a strange way. Rather than the standard 10 card booster packs, these were actually 30 card booster packs. And also the cards weren't entirely randomised, they were grouped by Pokemon type. The three groups were Fire and Water, Grass and Electric, and Psychic and Fighting. So when you opened a pack you would only get Pokemon of one of those two types, or colourless types, within the pack. Released alongside the set was a Tyranitar half deck. This was a 30 card half deck and the feature of the deck was this Tyranitar, which was numbered 142 out of 141, essentially making it a secret rare, but only being sold within this half deck. When they came to look at it, Wizards of the Coast decided not to translate the cards into English, as they had tournament play in mind, and when the set was created, every Pokemon was made a basic Pokemon, even if they were usually a Stage 1 or a Stage 2, and Wizards felt that this would just be too overpowered to introduce into the game. Then we move on to the Tropical Mega Battle of 2001. This was a tournament where the top players from all around the world were invited to Hawaii to compete in a tournament against each other. One set of rounds involved everyone getting a copy of this Tyranitar half deck, with a few slight modifications, and using this deck against their opponents. The main change was that every country had the cards reprinted in their own language, so this was the only time that English copies of the Versus cards were ever created. The cards within the set were Bruno's Hitmonchan, Bugsy's Yanma, Chuck's Donphan, Claire's Mantine, Falconer's Fearow, Janine's Beedrill, Jasmine's Raichu, Karen's Rapidash, Morty's Hypno, Price's Cloyster, Whitney's Furret, Will's Girafarig, Energy Arc, Potion, Super Scoop Up, Switch, and replacing the Tyranitar card, Tropical Breeze. Now this Tropical Breeze is actually the first ever English printing of what would come to be known as Tropical Wind, released at some World Championships. A version of this card was also given to the Japanese players instead of the Rocket's Tyranitar. And to this day the early Tropical Winds from Japan from these tournaments remain incredibly rare and very expensive. All of the cards I previously mentioned just had one copy of each, and the deck was rounded out with 3 Grass Energy, 2 Water, 2 Fire, 2 Lightning, 2 Psychic, and 2 Fighting Energy. The extra Grass Energy was because the original deck with the Tyranitar included 1 Dark Energy, and since Tyranitar wasn't there, it wasn't needed. One thing to note about these decks, even though they were released during the time that Wizards of the Coast held the franchise, they were actually printed by Media Factory, the company who at the time was printing all of the Japanese cards. So whichever language they were printed in, they were printed by Media Factory. Which is why they weren't included in my run of Wizards of the Coast promos. One other thing to note was with the English copy of Claire's Mantine, there was actually an error on the card. The original Japanese card showed its resistance as Fighting, whereas the English card accidentally showed it as Psychic. When this error was caught at the tournament, it forced them to replay some of the first rounds. This set has always been elusive, with only 2 known copies in existence. The first belonged to a gentleman named Steve P. Steve's son actually played in the Tropical Mega Battle in 2001, and he's kept this set ever since. He was the one who put all the scans on the Pokegym, which let us see the error on the Claire's Mantine, and his was the only known set that had ever been photographed or scanned. It was also public knowledge that the well-known collector D. Person also had a set. And that seemed to be the end of it. It just seemed to be another incredibly rare set of cards that just never seemed to sell, no matter how badly people wanted them. But then at Worlds 2012, D. Person was showing me some photos he took of his collection, including the English Versus set. And while I was looking through his photographs, I noticed something a little wrong with his set. Or perhaps more accurately, I noticed something a little right with his set. His copy of Claire's Mantine wasn't an error, it had the correct fighting resistance. This revelation made us question everything we knew about this set. Suddenly it seemed like it must have been released at multiple Tropical Mega Battles, as there's no way that some of the English cards would have been errors and some not, with such a small print run. An eBay seller and regular forum goer, who goes by the name of Not Zelda Gilroy, has recently admitted to owning a set of these cards himself, and has now said he is going to go and check his Mantine to see whether it is the error or not. He also claims to know of one other set floating around somewhere, which may eventually come up for sale at some point. I believe the records show that it was 16 English-speaking players who were invited over to the Tropical Mega Battle in 2001, so that would mean 16 sets exist with the Eremantine, and it would make sense that they invited a similar number the next time. So at the moment, what it does look like is that there are possibly 32 complete sets, but half of them have the Eremantine and half of them have the corrected Mantine. This is definitely one of the most elusive sets of cards out there. In my time collecting, I've seen Pikachu illustrators sell, I've seen pre-release Raichu sell, I've seen many Pikachu trophy cards sell. I have never seen an English Versus set sell. So everyone out there who strives to have your collection to be the very best it could be, definitely add these cards to your want list. And most of the people who had them on there, you guys probably didn't have the corrected Mantine, so you can definitely go ahead and add that. So this should round up our look at the elusive English Versus set. I do hope you guys got all the information that you wish to know about this set. So thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at djgigabyte@live.co.uk or leave me a comment. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.